And welcome to the Online Business Liftoff channel. I'm your host, Trudy Rankin, and I'm talking to Vicki Jameson, the owner and founder of Better Body, a natural health spa and beauty program. Now, like a lot of other people with a bricks and mortar business, Vicki has had to change her business model very quickly to deal with the whole COVID-19 crisis. So listen in and discover how she managed to do that and in the process get her business buzzing. Welcome, Vicki. So since then, obviously you've started a business. Can you just tell us a little bit about who you serve and how you serve them?
Sure. Well, I started back when I was in my 20s with my business, and I wanted to help women, so busy women, and it started off in their 20s, but now I work with women, busy women in their 40s plus, having amazing skin. So, and teaching them the integration between how our hormones and our gut health and stress levels impact not only our skin and how vibrant we look, but also how we feel. So that's my main passion. And as I went through my own journey through hormones, I call it, realizing the impact of stress and how it makes us feel and think that, and sort of how we put ourselves out there and how we perceive ourselves. So that's kind of my whole philosophy on, skin is just the reflection of what's happening on our inside, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. So, yeah.
I want to just share with our listeners a little bit, well, not a little bit, just talk to us about how you got started with your business. What was going on when you got started, and how did you get started, and how has it morphed over time?
So really, when I first started, I was mid-20s, and I had been working in a government, really different profession. I was working for the government as a customs officer, actually. And I kind of thought, do I really want to do this for the rest of my life? I wanted to build some kind of lifestyle business. And I had no idea what it was going to be or look like. And I didn't have kids and I wasn't with a partner. I just thought moving forward, that's what I wanted. So I retrained. I was really always fascinated, I guess, with sport, with how the body works. And I just fell into beauty therapy, mainly because I wanted to actually be a physio. But I didn't want to go back to uni for 5 years. And I thought, I'll be 30 by the time this happens and having kids and I won't use my degree. So I started off in beauty and found there was a massive connection between the skin and how it appeared and how our body worked. So that was my really big driver. But at that time, beauty therapy was only kind of utilized by the top, or 1% of the population. It wasn't very trendy. This was back in the 90s. And so lots of people didn't look after themselves. And I wanted to make a place where there was space for people to relax, calm down out of their busy lives, so nothing's changed, and just kind of reconnect with who they are as a person, but at the same time, make it about amazing skin. So that kind of was the start of my journey. And then as time went on, like I'm in my mid-50s now, obviously as I had kids and hormones came in and then I had gut issues, all these kind of health conditions kept happening to me, which were just lifestyle things that I noticed impact my skin and also my client's skin. And I thought, wow, you know what? We really need to educate ourselves as we go through life on how we can just better help our health and energy, so we don't have burnout, and so we can give more to our family and friends and who we are and stay on track and look good doing it. I mean, I think it's great to look awesome and have glowing skin no matter what age you are. So yeah, that was my journey really. And it's kind of morphed and evolved and now is turned into more online.
Yeah, do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because I think obviously we're in the COVID-19 territory at the moment. And you've gone from running like a spa, sort of a physical place where you go and you have these lovely experiences where you do, as you say, calm down, to we're in lockdown. We can't go to those things. And so I know a lot of people have had their businesses quite significantly affected by the fact that you now can't go to a bricks and mortar place and get the type of services that you had before. And a lot of people are scrambling to try and figure out, what do I do? You know, what happens if COVID-19 doesn't go away anytime soon? We could be here for a while.
That's
So
it.
tell us a little bit about what you're doing to sort of morph your business into having more of an online presence.
Sure. I was actually starting to do this anyway before COVID hit. So what it's done is actually speeded up the process. And as you know, I did your course last year, which was just kind of filling some holes that I needed in my skills level. So what I wanted to do, obviously moving in my early 50s to sort of visualizing that next 10 years, thinking physically, I can't actually do, a massage and a lot of hands-on work. It's actually quite physically tiring. And just because I'm passionate about it doesn't mean, I can physically do it. But I wanted to share my wisdom and sort of take it up a notch. So I kind of thought, how can I do this and share all the skills and learnings that I've had over that time and pass it on to people who are struggling, and particularly busy women, because I saw these gaps happening all the time. So I started some programs, and that started off as I did a couple of 28-day programs, which I mainly ran through Facebook groups.
Mm-hmm.
And then through your program, I've integrated a little bit more of actual programs that people can download, and it's a little bit more automated. Mm-hmm. It's still not perfect. It's still in it's being refined and all that kind of jazz. But through the COVID change, I had to speed up my process. So in that side of things, what I did in the meantime, because things weren't quite ready to go to market, if you like, was that I flipped my knowledge into content, put my content out there. So I got my blogs up and running. And then I also did more corporate work. So instantly I could flip what I was doing to serving more, workplace, wellness in the workplace, and helping a lot of corporates and high end with staffing and keeping everyone at that high performance, because it's all linked. A lot of my stuff works on that cortisol level and neurotransmitters. So finding the wisdom, if you like, and the pieces of my expertness or my genius, and then transferring that into, how can I do this online? I did a lot of webinars, just anything that I could think of that was online that I could reach more people. Mm-hmm. And I started off doing it for free, and now I've been charging. So mm-hmm. it was a morphing process, and it just had to morph very quickly. So it meant my learning curve was very steep on some things like tech. Mm-hmm. But all is good. So now I have that next 10 years to, grow more into that side of things. And hopefully the vision is to work more globally.
Yeah, I think that's what's really fascinating about online businesses, because it gives you, the internet gives you ability to reach out to more people than just where you are locally, or just in your own country, or even just countries where they speak your native language. It is actually possible to go even more widely than that, which I find fascinating. Yeah. I'd like to come back to something you said. You said you started to run some webinars and things like that. Now, for our listeners who may be a little bit new to the whole online thing, a webinar is like an online seminar, or an online, you can even call it a masterclass or whatever, where you come and listen and learn about a particular topic. And depending on how they're run, you might do some hands-on exercises, or you might just do listening and learning. But they typically tend to be run by experts who are trying to help you take the next step in the journey that you're trying to take, or whatever it is, whatever challenge you're facing. But for those of you who are just new to this, sometimes webinars can be really, really scary, and a lot of people are too frightened to start them. So Vicki, for you, what was it that you did that helped you get started with that? Besides the fact that you knew you had to do something, there was kind of a bit of a burning bridge there. But what was it that helped you get going and potentially get over any, I don't know if you did have any fears about doing webinars, but how did you go about it?
Webinars actually weren't new to me. I had been teaching online for, I don't know, maybe 10 years. but always with someone else running the webinars, and I would come in as a guest speaker, or for an event I would come as a guest. So I just had to learn, and I did a lot of YouTubing, believe it or not. So I kind of follow Marie Forleo. I don't know if you've heard of her.
Yes, I have.
One of her philosophies is always prime, at the forefront of my mind. Everything is figure outable. So I didn't know how to do stuff. I would just YouTube, how do I da 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 da, or Google, how do I fix the such and such in my Zoom link. So it was kind of basically baptism by fire on the tech side of things. And then of course, learning how to manage, all those kind of, how do I let people in on a waiting room, and a lot of those kind of behind the scenes things, while still appearing that I've got it all together as a presenter.
So did you run them by yourselves, or did you have a support person helping you?
I did both. So I started off on my own, and then I realized that, hey, I couldn't do this on my own. I needed someone else. And so I collaborated with another couple of wellness practitioners actually, and we worked together. So we all shared our knowledge, but then one of us, so we'd have kind of tasks to do behind the scenes, like mute people if they were making noise and the cat was coming in, and all those kind of things. So distractions, so that it appeared like a seamless process, which there's always lots of behind the scenes stuff. So knowing that, in the beginning we did not have it perfect. And if we look back now, even to March, when we started doing them a lot, we couldn't get some of the tech stuff. We were trying to, Zoom into Facebook and get all these live, we didn't have the times right. So people are a lot more forgiving, I think, than you realize if you're just really honest about where you're at. So it was having honest conversations. Hey, we've got the tech wrong, please bear with us, and we're onto it, all those kind of things. So just bringing people along on the journey was really important, and it worked out for us that people were patient.